So if happiness is a team sport, most men today are playing it really, really, really badly. We're living alone, we're living isolated, we're drowning our isolation with porn, online gaming, addiction, and substance abuse. And we're doing that because we were never taught how important community was. The beautiful part about falling into community, feeling our way into community, foraging our way into community, is that we begin the process of initiation where we actually come into a way of life that actually makes us truly happy. And that is in community. Humans, especially men, were never, ever, ever meant to exist outside of community. Our power, our brilliance, our savagery was always meant to be in the middle of community, serving community, a part of community, and aid to community. It was never meant to be up front and leading. And the only reason we got there was because we erected these walls of externals to support our ego that meant that we had to get all these things that kind of alienate us away from community. And the sad truth about today is that most men, and this is not the fault of us really, it's a big fault of society and our fathers and their fathers' fathers, is most men today are narcissistic. That's the words of Jean Twenge, who wrote this incredible book called The Narcissism Epidemic. Not clinically so, but for the most part, we're self-obsessed. We value ourselves above others. We value our needs above others. And it's not just a man thing. It could be considered a modern thing today, largely tied to social media and other things in the way we are brought up. But the benefit of this process of initiation, guys, and I want you to see that, is that the minute we can see where true happiness comes from and embrace failure, we find our way back to the beauty that is community and team sports. And I want to encourage you today, especially in light of AI and AGI, you will not find happiness up front and alone competing for success. That reality has been torn from you, or will be torn from most of us. And the only way you will survive AI is through embracing a process where you become able to accept community and able to embrace community and able to thrive in community. Those who do that will thrive in the future with AI and AGI, and those who don't will be in a lot of trouble. And so what does it mean to be in community? I want to give you 3 ideas today. The first is that we embrace public spaces. Most of us live very isolated lives. We don't embrace public spaces. Our fathers and their fathers did. They went to pubs. They were part of a Rotary Club. They went to public workspaces. A lot of us today, we don't do that. Part of falling is allowing ourselves to come back into uncomfortable public spaces. That can be a park for you. That can be walking around your neighborhood. That can be greeting your neighbors. But as men, we have to come back out into public spaces, even though it'll be desperately uncomfortable for you. It'll make you feel anxious and depressed. It'll hurt those parts of you, but luckily through foraging, we're going to learn how to do hard things. So that's the first thing. Come back into public spaces. The second thing is we have to embrace the fact that as men, we are part of a world that, for the most part in the West, is democratic, and democracy requires politics. There's no way to see that we're narcissistic than to see how uncommitted men are to politics. For the most part, a tiny portion of young men are politically active beyond the point of voting. And many, 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 many young men are not even politically active to the point of voting, especially young men. And that's just not okay. One of the easiest ways for us to embrace a community life is to become political. And I think it can be independent of political party. And obviously we still have to remain kind and community-centered, and that dictates who we vote for. But politics is a part of life in the democracy, and we can't separate that. So you'll know when you're embracing community, when you embrace politics, because it is, like all things, hard, messy, imperfect. And then the third thing we need to do if we're going to embrace community is join some kind of social club. This can be a church, it can be a mosque, it can be a synagogue, it can be a sports club, it can be a running club, it can be a chess club, it can be anything. As long as it's offline and in person, find a group of people who you can meet weekly with. Groups of people who know your names. They don't have to be intimate with you, but they know your names. You commit to serve them, they commit to serve you. That is an essential part of human rhythms. We were never, ever, ever meant to live in isolation. We were always meant to live in community. And yes, that will cost you. And yes, it will be imperfect, but I promise you, in the short term, it'll give you a stability, it'll give you a sense of meaning and purpose beyond the externals of your life, what you earn and where you go for work. And it'll give you increasingly a sense of stability and robustness as the world begins to transform under the influence of AI and AGI.
Let go and love.